Okay.
So, hi everyone. My name is Joyce Washington. I am a certified life coach, author, and self-empowerment entrepreneur. I work with women who feel stuck and unfulfilled, but ready to free themselves of fears and limiting beliefs by identifying their passion and taking actionable steps towards a life that they truly desire. So today, as you can see, I have a guest, and I'm going to be doing a live interview with life coach Debbie LeSean.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi Debbie, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
So, what I want to start with is you just like introducing yourself and introducing like your coaching program. Who do you serve? Why do you serve them? And like how
Mhm.
long you've been doing your coaching program.
Okay. All right. So, as Joyce says, I am Coach Debbie LeSean. I am a certified life coach. I currently reside in the Richmond, Virginia area, originally from New York. Um, and I've been coaching women for a minute, unofficially. I've officially been in business since 2019, and this is my full-time job. So this is not like a side hustle for me or something I'm kind of doing on the side. This is what I do all day, every day, and I absolutely love it. I love working with women. I love moving us forward, helping women to drop the emotional baggage that sometimes we hold on to after our heart has been hurt, and not just hurt by um, relationships, like sexual relationships. I'm not talking about like marital status and things to that nature. I'm talking about your heart could be hurt from a parent who's been absent your whole life. Your heart could be hurt from a sibling or a close friend who's done you wrong, and you've put up this wall now, and you vow now to not let anybody else ever get close to you. Those are the type of heart hurts that I help women to stand in their truth and sometimes look in the mirror, take the mask off. Let's look in the mirror and let's be accountable for our actions. Let's stand in our truth and tell a thing or call a thing what it is. And then let's move forward. Let's not stay in the stew.
Yeah.
Like we've got to move. And a lot of times women stay stuck. If you've ever heard a woman say, "Oh, I'm not getting with a man. I don't want to be married again," or "I'm not getting with a man again," it's because they've been in a relationship or an experience that potentially scarred them, and they're still holding on to as much as they've said, "I moved past it." And you may have moved past it physically, but
Yeah.
emotionally, we as women, we hold on to so much stuff. It really, like my theme song, I think from here on out, that I'm going to have play before I speak or anything else is going to be Erica Badu, Bag Lady. Because literally, that's what I do. I help women put down the emotional bags that we carry from situation to situation. And sometimes we don't even know we're carrying it, right? We
Yeah.
just feel like that's just how we are. But when you start to peel back those layers and really get to the root of why you're doing what you're doing, you get to see exactly the relationship that has scarred you. And now my job is to help you to move past that. And I'm not ever saying ignore what has happened to you. So anybody who's listening to this, please know I'm never saying that. But I am saying we can't sit in it forever. And there's a proper way in which we unload that baggage. Um, and I do it all through writing. Writing is my jam. It's been my jam since probably a teenager. And so for me, my women write. And sometimes they go on to publish and become bestsellers, and other times they decide they want to write it and keep it in their nightstand. That's totally up to the client. But what is not negotiable is the fact that we will write through our healing.
Mhm. So I think that that is very empowering and impactful that you are like pushing women forward to like really overcome those scars and letting go of that emotional baggage, because like you said, a lot of people don't even know that they have that emotional baggage. And
Absolutely.
I do agree with like writing stuff down, because it really helps you do like a brain dump and really throw
Mm-hmm.
everything out there that you didn't even know, like you
Exactly.
said, you had. So, my next question for you is, you said that you have started your business officially in 2019. So prior to that, what were you doing, or like, how were you unofficially doing the work, and
Mm-hmm.
why did you decide to make it a full-time job?
Gotcha. That's a good question. So I've been in management leadership for a while now, right? I'm early 50s. I've been working for a very long time. And my last job was working for higher ed. I worked for a community college here locally. And I was responsible for an amazing team of mostly women, because when you think about higher education, that is mostly a woman dominated field,
Yeah.
right? And so I've had women under my charge who I was I am the type of leader that I don't just get to know somebody based on their job title. Like, I get to know the whole person, because for me, that's the best way I can lead and encourage and motivate my team, is to know those things that help to motivate them, because everybody is not motivated by, I'm gonna give you a raise. Some people just needs to hear the kudos. So you got to get to know the people. And so that's a note for any leader who may be listening to this. If you are in charge or overseeing or managing a team, a department, or anything, get to know your people. Because when you get to know your people in a more in a capacity other than just officially, and I'm not saying they need to come to your house and hang out, like, I'm not that type of
Yeah.
person, but my staff know that they can come to me with anything, like personal, professional. Hey, I saw a job at another school. Like, I was the type of manager that said, let me help you get that, because I didn't ever want, if somebody sat underneath me for too long, then that tells me I'm doing something wrong, because nobody should sit under me for that long without the desire to move, right? So I've been helping move women for a long time, but just in a professional capacity. So let me give you opportunities. Let's come up with an action plan on how we can get you the training that you need so that you could become eligible to slide into this next role. So sitting down with the woman, hearing what it is that they want to do in life, coming up with an action plan, and then executing that, coming back and adjusting it as we need to, is what I've been doing in an official capacity. I was over a center that had academic advising, financial aid, admissions. So, I saw the gamut. And I sat and spoke with a lot of women who were potential students, who just kind of crossed my office for one reason or another. And it was like, let me help you. You know what I mean? Let me be the person who really stops to listen to what it is that you need and help you to get to where you need to be. So I've been doing this probably over 10, 15 years unofficially, just moving women. Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me create an action plan. Calling them back in my office. I did what was called quarterly conversations. So, I was not the type of manager that waited until the end of the year and do a performance evaluation. I want to continue to talk to you. What else can I be doing to help you? Because I think, one of the things, I actually have an award back here somewhere. I've been awarded a servant leader, because that's the type of leader that I was. Let me serve you as my staff. What can I do for you? And when you get to know the person's heart, then you have people who will rock with you for a very long time, because they know that you're vested in them and it's more than a job.
Yeah. I do agree with like making sure that you know the person, because there are jobs where like my managers didn't or supervisors didn't even try to get to know me, and they like were throwing a bunch of stuff at me, and I like left those jobs way
Yeah,
sooner than jobs where like I
absolutely.
was humanized. So that's really great. Um, so the next question that I have for you is, what are some of the fears and limiting beliefs that you faced before you decided, let me step out on a limb and really make this a business, a full-time business?
Listen, I still have those fears. Let me be very transparent with you, because that's the only way that I know how to be. Just
Yeah.
because I'm doing this full time does not mean that I wake up some days really doubting that this is my calling. Um, and that's exactly what this is. This is not just something I fell upon. This is something that I took a journey. So I've been divorced twice, and my second divorce really rocked me to my core. It really caused me to push away from everybody and really get clear on what my purpose was in life, because I knew it had to be more than what I saw in front of me. And this is all while I'm leading and motivating other people, mind you.
Yeah.
So I'm putting on this front, right? And my face is done, and my lips are cute, and my outfit is cute. And I'm going to work and I'm motivating this teams of people. And on the inside, I'm completely crushed. And so I go on this journey, like I move, same town, but I push away from friends, family, everything, because I really got to figure out me. Because at this point, this
Yeah.
is divorce number 2. I got to start to look internally. What is it about Debbie? You know, one time you can kind of say, it was the situation. When you go into time number 2 or 3, it becomes, what is it that you are failing to do in these relationships that is causing this? And, you know, I knew I didn't want to step into another relationship without working on me first.
Mm-hmm.
So as I did that, I realized what my purpose and my assignment was really not to push away from other women, but to in fact embrace them and kind of, like I said, help them along their journeys, because I didn't want, and I don't want, another woman to go through a heart hurt in silo by themselves, thinking that you got to hold it all in and be strong for the world. Um, and so I thought that I was just going to dabble in this on the side. I thought, you know, I had my own game plan, but God said, no, ma'am. I walked into work on March the 11th, and I remember this day because I also have a nonprofit organization. So I applied to get my nonprofit approval. I got my license to do business. Like, I came into work a half a day on that day because I had these errands to run. And I'm like, okay, God, if it's your will, you know, let this nonprofit application be approved. And I literally go to the post office and mail it off. And little did I know, that same day, after 11 years of service, I get laid off.
Oh.
On the same day, I mailed off my stuff to do what it is that I feel like God has been pushing me to do.
Yeah.
And so I realized that nothing is a coincidence. Nothing
Yeah.
just happens, you know. And I'm like, okay, God, clearly whatever you have for me to do is going to take 2 hands and not just, you know, something that I could play with. And literally, even despite a pandemic and the world being shut down, I've been doing this since March the 11th, 2019, full time, and books published, clients happy. This is just every day. I know what it is that I'm supposed to do. It doesn't get easy. And that's where I said sometimes I still have those thoughts. But it's so funny because sometimes when I have those dark thoughts, I get emails to say, oh, keep doing what you're doing. I'm, you know, from somebody out the blue. And it's just like, okay, God, I see you. Okay, but I've never applied for another job. I've never looked for another job. Mortgage is still paid. Like, I'm good. So that's how I know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I don't feel like this was a decision to walk away from work. I feel like I was kicked in my back, pushed out the door.
Yeah.
And despite it all, here I am still standing. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to say this is very transparent of me, but I am going through a divorce right now.
Okay.
And one of the things that you said was while you're getting a divorce, you need to like reevaluate and find yourself. And so that is one of the reasons why I like started my business and started like working with women and things like that. So I just wanted to, you know, have that like little connection
Mm-hmm.
situation there,
Mm-hmm.
because you know I like saved face and like acted like nothing was going on, but on my insides it was like really heartbreaking and things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So I
And,
just
and
love
that's
that
not
you.
something, to me, that's not something, like, I didn't even tell my family what I was dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
my mom, I have, you know, 2 brothers. One is deceased, but I have another brother, and then it's me. So, you know, it's 3 of us. And I never called my mom like, hey, mom, I'm going through a dark time. Like, I just would decline invitations. No, I don't feel like coming out today. No, I'm not coming today. I'm going to stay home. And nobody really knew why.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm in a sorority. So there were meetings and things going on that I was just like, no, I'll pass. And, you know, you have your, why are you acting funny? No, I'm not acting funny. I'm just, you
Yeah.
know, nobody knew how dark of a space that I was in, because for me, and one of the things that I had to tell myself is that I was not a failure because I was divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm in leadership, I manage people. What you give me, I execute. This is the type of person that I am. So when I can't control a marriage or make a marriage successful, I take a blow to me because I'm trying to figure out what it is that I did wrong. What is it that I'm doing? And I honestly looked at myself as a failure, and I had to realign my thoughts and put that into perspective that I'm not a failure. My relationship failed, but that doesn't mean that I'm a failure. And
Yeah.
that was a big pivotal moment for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that also happened to me. So I think that that is very empowering that you like kept on going even though you like were in a really dark space. But
Hmm.
with that being said, during that dark space and you like not reaching out to family members and stuff, were you like writing at the same time to really put
Absolutely.
yourself out there or like
Absolutely.
get
Because
your feelings out there?
yeah, because I had to get it out of here. I had to get it somewhere. One of the things I always tell women, clients, or anybody I'm speaking to is when you're going through stuff, just things. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a divorce, just things. And you bottle those feelings up and you keep with that response, I'm good. Because we as women, that's our favorite line. How you doing? I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? It's just automatic. We don't even think about it. I'm good. And on the inside, you're crushed. And I always say that your feelings is like this bottle of water. If you think of this as a soda, right? And
Hmm.
so at some point when you get up to here of being good and you keep shaking it up, what happens when you take the top off of the soda that you've shaken up, right? You have
Yeah.
an explosion and it kind of goes everywhere. And the last thing that you want is to have your feelings so bottled up that something causes it to explode that probably doesn't even deserve it. And your stuff just comes out everywhere, right? But when you
Yeah.
write, you slowly but surely take the cap off the soda. So it makes that slow fizz so that there is no explosion, right? You just
Yeah.
every day doing a dump. And you don't have to spend hours doing it. I tell my women, give me 15 minutes a day. 15. That's all I ask for. 15 minutes a day. You give me 15 minutes a day, I'll help you dump emotionally, dump the baggage that you've been carrying around, but you got to give me consistently 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's focused writing, but it's writing, it's getting it off of you. And that's where I think that sometimes women fail to do is we fail to get it off of us.
Yeah. So with working with women, have there ever been times where there were women who like kind of rejected the whole idea of writing or it
Mm-hmm.
became difficult for them? How did
Oh
you handle
yeah.
that?
I'm not the client for you. I'm not the coach for you. It's
Oh,
simple. Like
okay.
I'm not. I don't. There was a time when I first got started that I was doing some of everything for everybody, right? Because I
Hmm.
didn't know how to narrow in on my focus. So I just thought because I have all these skill sets that I'm just for everybody.
Yeah.
And we shut that down quick. Once I hired my own coach, right? Because every coach should have a coach. And
Yeah.
once I hired my own coach and she really started to digging into me, and she was just like, you're not for everybody. Well, what is that thing that you do? What is that way that you know how to move women forward? And I was like, by writing. And she was like, well, then that's your lane. Stay in your lane. And so if a woman comes to me, it's like, yeah, I love you, but I'm not a writer. You don't have to be a writer. Let me clarify. I'm not telling anybody to come to me who has to be a skilled writer. All you have to have is the
Yeah.
willingness to write for 15 minutes. If you have the heart and the willingness to write for 15 minutes, I can turn you into the writer. I'm not concerned
Hmm.
about that. But when you don't want to write, then I'm not the coach for you.
Yeah. So you were talking about how every coach should have a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So when a woman is just starting out, I know some people don't really like the idea of a coach, like with their business, because they think, oh, I'm talented enough or whatever. But like, what would you say to people who are rejecting the idea to have a coach when they are first starting out their business?
It's the same thing as when you first get a job and they assign you a mentor. If you've ever first started in any profession, and I see my twin is on here watching us, but if you've ever started in any profession, a lot of times they will assign you a mentor, somebody who has a little bit more skill set than what you have, just to kind of be available if you have questions, right? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to go to the manager all the time. So you go to this person. Well, let me just go and ask this person a question. But having a coach is just like that. I always put it in. I love sports. So I'll say, think of Serena. You think Serena is holding that tennis racket and she don't have a coach training
Yeah.
her? You think LeBron is shooting the way he shoots? and he doesn't have a coach working with him, think of your favorite whomever. You think that
Mm-hmm.
person doesn't have a coach? So if you think you can make it through whatever it is that you could be going through without needing um, somebody with a little bit more experience to help guide you through, you can probably make it through, but you're going to work a lot harder and a lot longer and probably be in your hamster wheel a lot longer than you need to be versus
Mm-hmm.
partnering with somebody who can help you get through. So, I mean, I never push my services on anybody. I don't believe that. I know my skill set and I know what I bring to the table. And it's not really about sounding cocky. It's just when you know what you're blessed to do, you just, and that's why my consultations are called alignment calls, because I need to see if the other person is aligned with what it is that I'm trying to do, because this is a two-way street. And so I know
Yeah.
that I'm not for everybody, just like everybody's not for me. And so there are some people who I've simply said, you're not ready. Like I'm not the coach for you. You're not ready to go where I'm trying to take you. And so when you get there, I'll be here, but not now. And it is what it is.
Yeah. So the next question that I have for you is what are what are some words of advice that you have for women who are like feeling fearful of like really pushing themselves out there to overcome their fears and limiting beliefs?
Hmm. Um, it really is. You just have to have the want and the desire to be in a better space than where you are right now. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to, because I didn't even know I had limiting beliefs until I
Yeah.
got with somebody who helped me to understand, why do you feel like you don't deserve to be a millionaire? Why do you feel like you don't deserve to be a successful entrepreneur? Why do
Mm-hmm.
you feel, and it's because I ain't grow up seeing that. So those limiting beliefs came because I didn't see that in the Bronx. I didn't see successful entrepreneurs in my family. I didn't see millionaires who lived on my street, who lived where that's not what I saw in the Bronx. And so my belief was just, this is what I was exposed to. And I thought this was my cap.
Mm-hmm.
And literally I had to reframe my thoughts to say, who says you have a cap?
Yeah.
Right. And so it's taken all of that stinking thinking that we have. And like I said, sometimes we don't even know we have it. It's just, as I talk to clients, it comes out. And it's like, who told you that? But I don't know. That's just always the way it's been. That's a limiting belief. Like, no, or that's when my grandma said, okay, we love grandma, but how grandma did it and how we need to do it as we go into 2021 is two different things. And so it's time to change them. It's time to change the narrative. And so those are the conversations that if your coach or your mentor is not having with you, then you need to find another coach or another mentor.
Yeah. So I was like listening to this ebook yesterday, and it was just talking about how you have to want to succeed more than you like want to like fail. And I thought that that was really empowering and really
Mm-hmm.
impactful, because some people, they want to succeed, but they let those fears get in the way, and then they like hold themselves back. And like if you keep like, you know, we all know insanity
Mm-hmm.
is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And so I definitely think it is important to really try new things, like you were saying, because the new year is coming up. If you're going to keep on doing the same thing over and over, you're going to keep getting the same results. So I think that
Yeah.
is important to like
I
move
think is
forward.
what you also just described to me is what I tell women is, women who live in survival mode, and I've been there, so this is no shade to anybody else, but when you live in survival mode, you live in that mode of getting up, getting dressed every day, going to a job that you necessarily may not like, doing
Yeah.
things you may not want to do. Like literally, you get up, wash your face, brush your teeth, take a shower, whatever it is it looks like for you. You go to work, you come home, take care of the kids. You might get a workout in, watch some TV, rinse and repeat. And if that's what you want for your life for the next 20 years, you are so living below. And it's because of fear that a lot of women don't move in their purpose. Like, God didn't call you for that. God called you for so much bigger than what it is that you're doing. And a lot of times it's because of fear that women they don't just step. I just need you to stick your pinky toe out there. Like just stick it out there and just try it, because I promise if he calls you to it, he's going to make sure that you got everything you need. But it's that fear that kind of holds us all captive sometimes.
Yeah. So this is gonna like kind of, I don't even know, like change the path a little bit. So
Okay.
I know that you do stuff a little differently with your coaching because you like, have women write out like how they're feeling and get rid of all of that emotional baggage on the inside where they did not really know they had. And some women have become bestsellers. So I wanted to know, what was one of your most favorite projects working with a client?
You know what? I think it's going to be the one that I'm working on right now. I have one that is about 95% done that should be published in probably the next 10 days, if not sooner. Probably going to be closer to a week now. We're about a week out from hitting publish. And of course, I only do self-publish, but this is an anthology. It's an anthology of 8 amazing women who are talking to other women on how to overcome obstacles, right? Because we all run into those life obstacles that cause us to hit pause sometimes.
Yeah.
And so these 8 women are talking about those obstacles, what they were for them, and how they kept going. And so this is a message of encouragement and hope to other women out there that don't let grief, domestic violence, self identity, um, feeling different, feeling less than, don't let any of those issues stop you from doing what it is that you know that you are called to do, because sometimes those things are like sucker punches. It hits you in your gut
Yeah.
and then we stop. Well, these 8 ladies are saying, don't stop, keep going. And so these are 8 different stories from 8 different women who have come together to talk along the premise of overcoming obstacles. The book is called Beauty for Ashes, Bruised but Not Broken. And that's what it's talking about. Women who have been bruised by life obstacles but refuse to let it break them. So it's a huge project. It's been one of love, emotional release, healing, tears, lots of tears. A lot of these women are first time. I think only 2 of the 8 have written before, meaning they're published with me. The other 6 have never written before, never been published before. So these are 6 brand new authors, 2 returning. And I think that is one of my best projects because it's simply talking about not giving up. And that's a strong message that any woman needs to hear, is to keep
Mm-hmm.
going when life, because life is going to deal you a blow. I don't know what it's going to be, but when it does,
Yeah.
you got to keep going.
Yeah. So that sounds really empowering and really impactful, and that sounds really exciting. So, where can, well, I won't even ask that. I'm gonna say this. So since we're like at the 30-minute mark,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask where people can find you. Like, what are your social medias? Obviously, we're on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and then like your website and things like that.
Sure. So clearly on Instagram, I'm Coach Debbie LeSean. On Facebook, I'm Debbie LeSean. And on my website, it's just debbieleshawn.com. So I'm pretty consistent. I have great, and when you talk about empowering women, that's what I do. We actually have, my shirts just dropped. It says
Oh,
empowered women, empower women. Um, and I'm all about the HER always stands out just because I'm a ladies coach. So I'm
yeah.
not saying that men don't go through things, but I help women because that's what I've been called to do. I'm all about empowerment. I think you can't even see this shirt says empowered as well. But I'm always a walking brand for who I am. Yeah, Debbie LeSean. I'm consistent across all social media.
Okay. And then I'm going to go back to the question I was going to ask because it was going to lead into this question. So, where can we find like the self-published books from the woman and yourself?
hmm I would just say reach out to me because the women sell them on their websites and on their landing pages. This last project, I don't even have a chapter in it because it wasn't about me. This was truly a God-given project that I didn't even write a chapter. I'm just the visionary. I compiled it all together. So I'm not selling these books. This is not for profit for Debbie. Um, So these 8 women, some of them are here on Instagram, who reach out to me. I'm happy to connect you with any of the women who have written underneath me and talk more about their books. Some are devotionals. Some are, there's one young lady, Demetria D. Kesey is what she is on Instagram. She's young, recently graduated college, and she's talking about her journey in college while being a Christian. So, I mean, it's just, it's a lot of empowerment stories out there that I encourage the women to support, other women to support.
Okay. All right. So, Coach Debbie, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really enjoyed this interview with you, and I learned a lot of stuff. I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you about
Okay.
some of those authors because I want to, support.
Absolutely.
Um, do you have any last words that you would like to share with the audience?
I think you said it best. We get ready to go into a new year. We are a few weeks from 2021. Don't go into 2021 the same way that you were in 2020. 2020 caused us all to step back, and 2021 can be our time to clap back, to
Yeah.
come back for it. But we got to do some things different. So reach out to either one of us. We both are about empowering women,
Yeah.
and either one of us would love to help you move forward in your next journey in life.
Okay. All right. So thank you everybody for watching today. And thank you, Life Coach Debbie LeSean, for being here with us. Again, I'm going to try to save this live and post it on my YouTube channel. You can
Okay.
find it on Joyce Ann Washington. Just search it up or type in hashtag Free Fears. You can find my channel there. Um, Also, I'm having a December sale where my book, Dream, Believe, Work Hard, Be Happy, Dream and Action Steps, and my downloadable journal and my feelings, a year-long emotional wellness journal, along with my life coach program, Dream and Action Steps, for 50% off all December. So check that out. And before we go, Coach Debbie, do you have any sales that you have going on for December that you would like to share?
So everything in my shop is 15% off free shopping. Just use the word empowerment. Don't forget empowerment is with the H. And my shop is bit.ly.empowerment shop. But again, just reach out to me, slide me a DM. I'll send you the link to my shop. It's on my link tree. Use the coupon code, get my devotional. There's sweatshirts out there, colors and all that other good stuff. But reach out to me. I'm happy to connect with anybody.
Okay. All right. So thank you everyone for watching again. Much love. Bye.
Thank you.